anything wrong lately, she thought. Alyssa's eyes widened as the pumpkin seeds fell back into the slop her mother had been rinsing them free of, and she absently dried her fingers on her skirt. "Don't do it," Alyssa breathed, but her mother's fingers twitched and reached and grasped the thin, coppery band of fabric. With a deliberate abruptness, she gathered her long, dark hair. Alyssa took a shaky breath. She was still all right. If her mother wrapped it about her hair once, she was all right. Once is no problem. Twice is lots of work. 3, and she was in trouble. Alyssa swallowed hard as her mother wrapped it 4 times, tying it with a severity Alyssa had never seen before. "I should have locked her door," her mother said to herself as her fingers worked. "I should have shuttered her windows." Without another word, her mother turned, strode into Alyssa's room, and shut the door. "I'm pig slop," Alyssa whispered. "That's it. I'm pig slop." Breakfast forgotten, she tiptoed to the door and put an ear to it. The sharp sounds of cupboards opening and shutting met her. There was an annoyed squawk, followed by a muffled, "Then get out of my way!" and Talon joined her, having flown out the bedroom window and back in through the kitchens. Chittering wildly, the small bird landed upon Alyssa's shoulder. "I don't know," she said. Talon cocked her head at the closed door. With a slight gasp, Alyssa flung herself back to the table, trying to look nonchalant. Her mother didn't seem to notice Alyssa's artful disinterest as she blew out of her daughter's room and into her own, a bundle of cloth in her arms, a determined look on her face. The door crashed shut. Alyssa's ear was against it almost before it hit. "No," Alyssa heard her mutter. "She won't need that. Yes, most definitely yes, that would be nice, but it won't last a week." "Oh, ashes," Alyssa whispered, and feeling decidedly ill, she sank down on her stool at the table. It had been her spot ever since she could pull herself into a chair. She had a bad feeling it wasn't her spot anymore. In a flurry of soft, quick steps, her mother burst forth. Talon gave a startled peep and flew out to lose herself in the bitter smell of frost-killed pumpkin vines. Alyssa's overnight pack, the one she used when they went to market, was in her mother's hands. "This isn't big enough," her mother said, then turned to Alyssa. Her mother wore a tight smile, looking pained and desperate. "Good. At least you're dressed for it." Alyssa's eyes slid to the work-stained trousers tucked into her boots. She usually wore a full-length skirt, but slogging about in the garden demanded something a bit more sturdy. Not wanting to admit what the pack meant, Alyssa hastily shifted her plate as her mother dropped her load on the table. She strode briskly to the storage chest and brought out a larger pack, Alyssa's winter coat, and a second set of work clothes. Under them was her mother's treasured pair of cream-colored boots. All of it went on the table. "Are we going somewhere?" Alyssa asked weakly, noticing that almost everything on the table belonged to her. "Half right, dear. Half right." The oiled tarp hanging behind the door joined the pile. Alyssa's stomach dropped. It was worse than she thought. "Mother," she protested, "I know we talked about this, but you can't send me to the hold. It's just one of Papa's stories. The hold doesn't even exist." "Yes, it does." Alyssa's brow furrowed. "Have you seen it?" she accused. As expected, her mother's eyes dropped. "No. He said it wasn't safe." What Alyssa thought was fright slipped into her mother's eyes, sending a chill through her. "I'm not supposed to know it's there," her mother said softly. Taking a quick breath, Alyssa pushed her fear away, turning it into something far more familiar. "You're going to send me there, though," she said sharply. Much to her surprise, her mother didn't tell her to hush, or be still, or even give Alyssa that look of hers. Instead, she reached out and ran her hand through Alyssa's hair. Her fingers were trembling and she looked worried. "I waited too long to send you on," her mother whispered. "I didn't want to see. Your papa said it was a month's trip, and you'll have to get there before it snows." "You're going to make me leave because of a bedtime story?"